Hi there again, BookTube. Welcome to Leanne's Library. Welcome back to my channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. So today I am recording my TBR game for the month of May in 2021. So there's a few books I want to read, which I've got piled up here. These are my hopes. So I've got A Court of Wings and Ruin. Obviously after that I'll be reading A Court of Frost and Starlight if it comes up or not. The third volume of Full Metal Alchemist, The Subtle Knife, Bloody Rose, what else? Can't see. I think Mort's in there by Terry Pratchett, and Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan is also in there. So they are all I want to read them at some point soon. Doesn't mean I particularly have to read them this month, even if they do come up. So there's like a possibility, because I have all of these beautiful books behind me too. So this month I will be doing a TBR game that's different to last month. Last month I did the Trivia Pursuit because I hadn't made a game for myself yet, so that was just filling in whilst I thought about what I was going to do. So you might know that I have another channel that's based around my crocheting and my knitting. I've not done too many videos over there yet, but I'm getting into that. I'm really enjoying my hobby and where it's going, so yeah, it's all fun. So if you want to see, over here is my wool, and I love my yarn. I'm very excited about doing my other channel too. So if you want to follow me over there, my channel is called Leanne's Loops, and I will link it down in the description. Feel free to follow me over there if you enjoy knitting, crocheting, or just watching other people create things, clothes, toys. I do both, so feel free. So I'm doing this crocheting, knitting based TBR game. I've made my own board. I've stuck down all the pieces. It looks quite homemade, but I like it, so I'm going to use it. So I will go over to the board now and explain the rules to you and do my first roll. Hi there, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to explain the rules of the game. This is my knitting, crocheting, needlework, woolwork TBR board game that I've made. So what I'm going to do for the actual board itself is that I'm going to use my little Evil Queen figurine from my Villainous board game. I'm going to use her, and I'm going to start on this bee here, and I'm going to work my way around this entire thing until I land on the fox, which means I've ended the game. So however many rolls it takes for me to do that with a six-sided die, that's how the game will end. So now I'll explain to you what all the different pieces mean. So the reason I've put these little bees in is that this is obviously where I'm going to start, so I'll be on that when I start. But if I then land on this bee, I will have to roll my dice, and if I land on an odd number, I'll have to go back to the previous bee, and if I land on an even number, I'm going to go ahead and go forward a step. So that'll be a fun time to see how many rolls I get in if I do that. So there's 4 bees on the board, so obviously I'll start on this one and don't have to do anything for this one. But if I land on any of these 3, it'll mean forward or backwards. If I land on the last one and roll an even, that means I can end the game and jump to the fox. So that'll be fun to see what happens if I land on one. So all these little crochet hooks, they mean I'll choose an aesthetic card. So these cards here will have something to do with the aesthetic of the book itself and what book I'm going to choose that way. The needle prompts are to do with an action, so it'll be I have to do something to figure out what the book's going to be. So for example, I've got pet pick, or I've got random word generators, letter generators, number generators, stuff like that. And then the stitch marker prompts, which is these ones, will be something to do with the content of the book. So it could be the genre of the book, it could be something represented in the book, it could be a page number, anything like that. And then the rainbow yarn is anything else. So this is the miscellaneous pile there. So yeah, so if I land on those, that I'll have to draw a prompt based on that. Other than that, it's just the B prompts, and I just thought I would mix together two of my favourite hobbies, like needlework, crocheting, knitting, stuff like that, with my reading, and I thought I'd make a fun little board game, seeing as TBR board games are the hype of booktube at the moment, and I have loved every second of it. I've really enjoyed watching other people's TBR games, and I've really enjoyed making my own. Unfortunately, some of the pieces on it keep unsticking. These are just for aesthetic, these little balls of yarn. I thought it'd make the board look a bit nicer, so I included that, and I thought I'd make it nice and colourful and happy, just like crocheting, just like reading, just like knitting. I like things to be nice and colourful and happy, so I thought I'd make it look quite fun. Definitely looks kind of homemade, which is always fun. So shall we get started on the actual game and see where we go, I think. So first off, I need to get myself a dice. So, and then I will go ahead and roll. So I have landed on a 2. So I'm going to start on the B and go 1, 2. And I draw a colourful yarn ball. So this is a series continuation, which is fun. I have many series to continue on with, so I'm very excited about this prompt. So my first roll came up as a series continuation, which was a colourful ball of yarn. So my series continuation, I think I know what I'm going to choose for this one. So for this one, I'm just going to have to bring these down onto just so that I can get to some of the books. I am very excited to get to this book, so I really want to read Bloody Rose. So this is a book by Nicholas Eames. I read the first book a little while ago, Kings of the Wild. My fiance is actually currently reading the first one, so I'm very excited to see him read that. But this one is about one of the main characters in the first one, his daughter. That's all I really know about it at the moment. I know that the series has got LGBTQ content in it, so I'm very excited about that too, to see where that goes, because I absolutely adored the character who is LGBT in the first book. He is adorable, so I'm very excited to get into the second book and see how wonderful the characters are in this. So basically, if you want to know anything about the first book, it's about a group of mercenaries who were very famous in their heyday, in their prime. They defeated lots of very terrifying creatures. It's kind of like a D&D campaign, really, kind of world, where they go into like a wild place full of scariness and fight all the creatures and do all the tasks that have been set out for them. It's kind of like that, but in a book, and it's actually very, very good. I've read books before that have had similar kind of themes, and they've not been executed very well, whereas the first book at very least, I don't know about the second one yet because I haven't read it, but the first one was absolutely brilliant. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and I can't say anything bad about it because it was fantastic. So I'm so excited about this. But like, as I say, the main characters in the first one are a lot older now. They're a lot older. They have aches and pains in places that they didn't even know about having aches and pains, and they've got to go on another mission to save one of the main character's daughter because she's been locked up in a city surrounded by bad guys. And yeah, they got to go rescue her, and they're old. And well, not old, but like middle-aged. They're getting all the aches and pains in their joints and all that kind of stuff. They're a lot older than they were, and they can feel it. And yeah, it's a very fun read, and it's got its dark elements, it's got its fun elements, and it's just very exciting. So I am extremely excited to get into the second book in May. On to roll number 2. A 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is a stitch marker prompt. So I've got to read a book 200 pages or less, which is always good because a short book gets something off my TBR quickly. So roll number 2 gave me a 200 page or less book with a stitch marker card. So I don't know what I'm going to choose yet for this, so I'm going to have a little look. What's 200 pages or less? Okay, for the 200 page or less, I'm gonna go for the 3rd volume of Full Metal Alchemist, simply because volume 3 starts at page 379 and finishes at 550 something. Not all the pages show the numbers, so I'm not absolutely certain, but the last page number it gives is like 544. So yeah, it's got a good so it's got less than 200 pages anyway, definitely. So I think I'm gonna finish off this 3-part volume, which will be very exciting because I've really enjoyed this month. And you can go back and watch my video talking about volume 2 if you'd like as well, because I recorded a video recently about that. So I'm very excited about this. It's about these 2 characters who are brothers, and they tried to bring their mum back to life through alchemy. Edward is a very famous alchemist. He's called the Full Metal Alchemist. And this is his brother, who I keep forgetting the name of. Sorry. But yeah, this is his brother, who lost his body and is now just a full suit of armour. So at this point, they are trying to get their own bodies back because Edward now has a metal arm and a metal leg, and they both just want to be the way they were before. They were trying to bring their mother back to life and they failed, and they ended up the way they are now. So they want to try and find the Philosopher's Stone to help them get everything back to normal. So I'm very excited to be reading this. On to roll number 3. Next roll. A 1, so that is a needle prompt. So I need to do a random letter generator, and Lynx is going to walk over my board as usual. Lynxy, come on, you need to move. Come on. He's going to watch me play my game now. So I'm going to use a random letter generator and hopefully be able to get a book that starts with that letter, or an author that starts with that letter. The needle prompt for the random letter generator. So I'm going to bring up my random letter generator on my laptop, and I'm going to show you me coming up with the, hang on a second, me getting the letter that I need to use for the book. M. So let's see what I can find beginning with M, shall we? Oh, that's a good one actually, because I can read Mort. I don't think I'm choosing anything off these shelves. I'm actually getting to all the books that I want to get. So let's hope the next rolls are just as exciting, and let's see how we go. So I'm going to read Mort by Terry Pratchett. There's so much hype around this one specifically, and I know it's about Terry Pratchett's version of death, which I really enjoyed so far. I have read Good Omens as well, and I liked the version of death in that. So I'm very excited to see him show up a lot more in the books, because I saw him in Equal Rights for a little bit and he was very cool in that. So I am very excited to see Terry Pratchett's version of death in a bigger setting. So the synopsis for this is: death comes to us all. When he came for Mort, he offered him a job. Henceforth, death is no longer going to be the end, merely a means to an end. It's an offer Mort can't refuse. As death's appearance, he'll have free board, use of the company horse, and being dead isn't compulsory. It's a dream job, until he discovers that it can be a killer of his love life. So that sounds very exciting. So Mort is gonna be working for death, so that looks very... I'm actually really excited for this one. Yay! Alright, next roll. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I landed on a B. Right, I'll put it there because it won't sit on top. Lynx is really enjoying helping me with my game. So if I roll an odd, I'll have to go back. If I roll an even, I can go forward. Let's see, shall we? Please give me an even. I go. Did you see what it rolled at? A 4. So I get to go forward to the next B. So that's all the way around to this one. So I'll stand next to it because next roll. And I landed on a 4 again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That is another stitch marker prompt. So this is the complete opposite. So 500 plus pages. Fun times. So I'm going to be reading a big book. I shouldn't struggle with this too much because there are some big books that I want to read. So kind of excited about this actually. So on that roll, I landed on a B. So for roll number 4, I got the stitch marker prompt again for plus 500 pages. So for this, because I read Akamath last month and I know Aka War is bigger, and I know it's like, oh, what is it? Oh, it's more than 600 pages even, maybe even 700. It is 699 pages long, so I can read Aka War, yay! I'm very excited to read Aka War, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. Another step closer to reading the newest book, so I'm very, very happy that this has come up on May's TBR, and I'm very, very excited to get to this. So if you don't know much about A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is all over BookTube, so I don't know where you've been if you haven't heard of it. It is about a young human girl who is out hunting for food for a family to feed her 2 sisters and her father and herself, and she accidentally shoots a fey wolf in his shapeshifted wolf form, and a fey called Tamlin comes and retrieves her as a punishment. He takes Feyre away from her family, and she's the only one who really provides for them. And she thinks she's going to die. She thinks that this is the end of it all for her. But actually, she starts catching feelings for the Fey man. And they start forming a relationship, and all that kind of stuff happens. So it is like a fantasy romance series. But yes, I'm very, very excited to get onto the 3rd book. And rereads are so much fun, especially when they are your favourite books. So yay. On to roll number 5. So one more roll is 2, which means I've completed the game, landing on the fox. Luckily I've completed the game because the cat's decided to roll on it. Okay, Lynx, I'm done now, it's okay. So yeah, I have my 4 prompts. That's all I came out with this month. Hopefully next time I maybe have a few more. That means I can work around this month having some more choices for myself and just be able to mood read a bit easier. So that'll be a bit more fun for me because this month I haven't been able to do that at all with the 6 books from my previous TBR game. So roll number 5 actually ended the game, so I have a little bit of freedom in May to read whatever it is I want to read other than these 4 books. So I'm very, very excited about that actually, because that means I can just choose what I want and tell you about it next time around. So I'm recording this as of the 23rd of April, so I do still have 2 books left from last month's TBR, which is my 2 Kindle books actually. So I am currently reading Legendborn by Tracy Dion, which is very good so far. She's been introduced into the magical side of the book, so that's all exciting. She's been initiated into the, I mean, they've even compared it to a cult a little bit, so cult. She's been initiated into the group of people who have magic in this world. That's exciting, and I'll see where that goes. And the other book that I need to read still is 3 Dark Crowns, and I am very excited about reading that too. That was Tom's choice of the month, so I also forgot to mention that my TBR game, in all 4 piles of prompt cards, there is a wild card in each one of them. So if I do draw a wild card at any point, that means that's my choice. I can choose whatever it is I want to put on my pile for that month. It hasn't come up this month, so I didn't have to explain it and I didn't think about it. So, but just for future reference, if I do draw a wild card, it just means I can choose whatever I want to put on that pile. So that is my TBR game for the month of May. I hope you've enjoyed my video. I hope you've liked my brand new TBR game. I'm very excited to have made it and joined it in with my other channel, my other hobby in a way. So yay, I'm very excited about that, and I will see you in my next video. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. Ta-ta for now.